hi Sunday School. So glad to see so many of you here today, here at the first day of Sunday School and this registration. I'm glad you made it because Sunday School is a very important program we have set up here at St. Andrew. And of course your teachers, everyone has prepared a really good curriculum and program for you this year. You know, this year we decided that we'd try something new. I know I get to spend a few minutes with you upstairs in the church during my sermon time, but we thought it'd be a little better to maybe have a small private presentation, communications with you through this medium, this technology of video. And so we're going to be doing these little video clips every week. You're going to get a few minutes with me, and I'm going to be able to share a few ideas with you and hopefully get some response from you too. You could be writing questions to me that I'll be happy to answer here on this video inside of this box we call television. Today, as the first day of Sunday School, I thought I'd tell you a little about myself. I know a lot of you know me, but maybe you don't know too much about me. You know that I have two children, Varujan and Sevan. You know that my wife's name is Susan. But what more do you know about me, about the priest of your church, St. Andrew? First of all, my name is Vaskin. Of course, people don't call me Vaskin. They call me either Father Vaskin, or Der Vaskin, or Der Hyde. And this is just a common courtesy. It's a common title that we give to all of our priests in the Armenian Church. It's like your parents, for instance, or your aunts or your uncles. You don't call them by their first name. You don't say, hey, Meline. You don't say, hey, Coco. Hey, Zaven. You say, hey, Mom, Dad, or your aunts, Tanti, Uncle, Kitty, and so on and so on. We have titles for people, and in the Armenian Church we refer to me as Der Hyde. So you come up to me and you say, hello, Der Hyde, and of course the proper way to greet the priest is to say, Orhniadir, which is, bless me, Father, and the priest responds, Astvaz Orhni, may God bless you. And we also have titles for the wife of the priest. You know my wife as Susan, but her title in the Armenian Church is Yeretskin. Yerets means priest, and Gin means wife. In all of the Orthodox churches, for instance, in the Greek church, they call the priest's wife Presbytera. In the Russian church, they call her Matushka. And in the Armenian church, we call her Yeretskin. So these are the titles, and this is the way that we greet one another in the Armenian church. You know, people think that we as the priests are kind of stuffy people, and that we really don't have much of a job. You know, in fact, sometimes people think that we just go from Sunday to Sunday. They think that we show up on Sunday, work for 2 hours, and then go back to sleep. Can you imagine that? Wouldn't that be a fun job if you could just sleep all week long, and then wake up Sunday morning and do your work, and then go back to sleep? Actually, it wouldn't be too much fun. I know it sounds fun, you know, sit around and watch cartoons all day. But really, the work of the priest is a lot more. In fact, the other day somebody gave me this. It's a little piece of writing that someone wrote about priests, and I want to share it with you. It says, what does a priest do? The priest teaches, though he must find the students for his own classes. He heals, though without pills or knife. He is sometimes a lawyer, often a social worker, something of an editor, a bit of a philosopher and entertainer, a salesman, a decorative piece for public function, and he is supposed to be a scholar. He visits the sick, marries people, buries the dead, labors to console those who sorrow, and he tries to stay sweet when someone criticizes him for not doing his job. He plans programs, appoints committees when he can find them. He spends considerable time in keeping people out of each other's hair. Between times, he prepares a sermon and preaches it on Sunday to those who happen to have no other engagement. Then on Monday, he smiles when someone comes up to him and says, "What a job, 1 day a week." Well, of course, the priest's job is a lot more than 1 day a week. There's a lot. Most important to the priest's job is teaching people that it's okay to live and enjoy life. People think that the priest is the one who comes down and says, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You know, Christ, if you remember in the Old Testament, It said, do not do this, do not steal, do not murder, and so on and so on. When Christ came, he changed all that negative language to positive. He says, do. And what did he say? He says, love one another. Do this, and people will know that you are my children. That's what our job is. That's why you come to Sunday school, so that we can all get together, love one another, have respect for one another, and be one family here at St. Andrew. Anyway, next week I'm going to be with you again, and I'm going to be talking about something else. Again, I want to say how happy I am to see all of you here today, to see so many of you teachers here ready to teach this year. And in fact, back there I see some parents too. I'm happy because you parents are what are very important to you. You're the ones who bring your students to Sunday school, to this church, and all of you together, students, teachers, staff, parents, priests, all of us together, we make up this family which we call St. Andrew. God bless you all, and I'll see you again next week.